They all did a good job. Thank you for doing that. I also want to say before I get started, thank you to Jolie for decorating the lunchroom. It looks very good. I hope you all agree with me on that. There we go. So thank you to the children providing us the blessing of reading from Psalms 31. I was listening to another minister, not from our denomination, and looking at how he was bringing out his Mother's Day message. And he brought out something that kind of piqued my interest. When we look at Psalms 31 and we look at this superwoman here who's doing all of these things, my concern is that we can read this and we look at this woman and all the things that she has done is really unattainable. It puts a lot of pressure on other women, because when you look at Proverbs 31 verse 15, she rises up while it's yet night. So the first question is, does she not go to sleep? She rises up while yet it's night and gives meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. Then verse 18, she perceives that her merchandise is good, her candle goes not out by night. And I'm thinking, she doesn't sleep. She's up and working all the time. And I am not trying to question God on Proverbs 31. But I think we need to take from this message is that these are issues that or hopes that we can look at to attain. I don't think you can attain them all, because I think if we would have on our Father's Day and we were going to say all the gentlemen in our church who are fathers need to be like Abraham, you can't do that. And so for Proverbs 31, I think we're not looking at women designed to measure up to this woman, because no woman can measure up to this one. So, but what we want to do is we want to take out a moment and say thank you to all the women, the mothers, and pray for the mothers to be, for the awesome blessing that they are. With my wife being away, it gives me a little more clarity on thinking along these things. And when we look at it, it's good for us to have a role model. We all need a role model. We all need a mentor. I believe God created us to have that. Timothy had Paul. And we could look at different ones having role models, like Elisha had Elijah to look to. And I think it's good to have spiritual mothers and physical mothers to look up to for examples in the church. We're told in Titus, the 2nd chapter, let's go there. I had not thought about that till now, so I thank the Lord for that. Titus 2. And Paul gives encouragement for people in the church. And ladies, the younger ladies that are rising up, they need you as godly examples. Let's start with verse 1. Titus 2 verse 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. So, gentlemen who are fathers, ladies who are mothers, we need to speak sound doctrine. We ought to watch the words that come out of our mouth. That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. Of course, I think they left out humor. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. Not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. So ladies, here's some good admonitions for us. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands. Oh, we don't like that one though. That the word of God be not blasphemed. So, ladies, we are living in a culture and in a time in history where, first of all, Previously, feminism did not see women as being mothers as something to be grasped at. You're supposed to have a career, and that's what you're supposed to be shooting for. That is not godly in principle. And so, ladies, as we're looking at mothers, you need to be a good example. Because we need good examples. We're not going to find them out in the world. You're not going to find them on TV or on the internet. We're going to find them in the church. So I want to challenge you to keep being as close to the Lord as possible. You know, I like that idea of when David went to marry Abigail, it says some interesting compliments about her, that she was a wise woman, very discreet. So I want to challenge all of our ladies. You have that spark of the candle at home, especially when the husband is not home, when the father's not home. Your children are looking to you for guidance. And also, when we look at this, I was looking at 2 Corinthians 10:12. We don't have to turn there. But the problem that Paul comes and says, the problem we have is that we measure ourselves either by ourselves or by other people. And I want to challenge all the mothers that are here. You measure yourself by what is given to you by God to do. Because I can never measure up to someone else. And Paul says we don't want to do that. I can't measure up to be like a Paul or a Kenneth. I can take their examples and work with them and help it to shape my life. But I don't need to say, well, I'm going to be exactly like so-and-so. So for mothers, you've got some very good examples in the church. And I say they're examples, not that you can attain to what they're doing. And I realize this. Any home you go to, if we go to any family in the church, we can look and say, that family has everything going for it. I've never seen them argue or fight. There's never this or that. Brethren, when you go to their home, there's going to be disputes every once in a while. And I remember Chuck Swindoll, he was talking one time, and I thought I really grasped into what he said. He goes, do you think when you would come to my home, you're going to see a perfect house? You're not going to see it. He goes, my wife and I have disputes. We get into fights with our kids, and I thought, good for you. We need to see that mothers and fathers are people who make mistakes. Mothers make mistakes, fathers make mistakes. We're not looking to say, can I come visit your home? Oh no. We don't want you to see World War III going. God blesses homes with forgiveness. God blesses us with growth. God blesses us with maturity. And I was thinking about this too. You know, I think the Flintstones have such a great impact on culture. Wilma Flintstone Wilma Flintstone stated to Betty Rubble something very in depth. And it was, and this is Pebbles, who's the daughter, all right? It says, between Pebbles, the dishes, and the clothes, nothing is dry at the same time. And to take that idea, we're always going to have struggles in our homes. But God, if He is placed at the center of that home, it's going to be a blessed home. I've gone into Church of God homes when you can feel the presence of there as soon as you walk into that home. That is an awesome feeling. And so that's what I want to challenge all of us. Fathers and mothers, husbands and wives, pray that your home exudes the presence of God. Well, that is an awesome testimony. You go to someone's house and say, the presence of God is here. My wife and I, when we were selling our trailer home, I wanted to get rid of that thing because I found we made a mistake. When we moved to San Antonio, we moved into a trailer home because it was hard to get something. And I found out that every year you have that trailer home, the value goes down as much as your mortgage goes down. So when you're just about done paying the thing off, it ain't worth anything. So I said to my wife, we've got to get out of here. Well, we had a lady, and this is awesome. She came to knock on our door. She came in. I feel the presence of God in this place. And I thought, whoa, this is cool. You know what? Is that wrong to desire in your home? I want the presence of God. So people come in the house, we can feel the God's presence here. Just like in the church. So ladies, if there's one thing I want to challenge you to do, you be seeking God's presence in your home. And you say, this is not our home. This home belongs to God. Because God blesses the home. There's nothing better in the world than a home where God is worshipped. If you're a wife or a mother and you've got a 3-car garage and you've got a 25,000 square foot home, I dare say a person who has less means but trusts in God has a better home than the person who's rich. That's my own personal idea. Now, I didn't want to go too far in my message. I just want to kind of bring up those thoughts for us to consider. But I believe there are 3 times in the year when the people in the congregation should be doing more talking than the pastor, and this is one of them. Father's Day, Mother's Day, and Thanksgiving. So I would like to stop there, and I would like to invite all those who would like to say something about a mother, whether that's a memory or of a mother that is here, that you would like to say something. You know what? It's better we say it now than when we're going to a grave and thinking those thoughts. Why didn't I say this about my mother or about my father? You know, it's good to do it now. Let them know how you feel. So we're going to use the green microphone. So we're letting Elise know she's not